All right, welcome to our Saturday team accountability call for our holiday Surf Thrival group. This is our online virtual fit camp, and we are in the month of December. It's December 1st, 2018. I cannot believe we have made it this far already, and I'm super excited about it. So for those of you who have never done a call or joined a call on Saturdays, I'm just going to let you know that we have these calls on most Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the purpose of these calls is just for us to gather together to share any questions we have or best practices, to see each other's faces because we are holding each other accountable and we are partnering up together on a daily and weekly basis. And so we want to make sure that we have that bond together because we are in all parts of the country and we form a strong bond in these groups. And so this call gives you that opportunity to actually see people talking and moving and get as close to them as possible. I have found after doing this for 4.5 years that that is one of the keys to keeping me consistent, and just letting me know that I have that support that I need, especially when life is coming at me and I'm going through some struggles. I know I have my team, my accountability team, and that's you guys. So as a newbie, you need to know that you have us, that we're here. It might be a little strange to get on a call like this if you've never done it, but you'll get used to it and you'll come to rely on it and look forward to it. So that's the hope. So I'm not going to keep us long today. I just wanted to talk really about, hey, Steph, I wanted to talk about our mindset going into December. So um, we are headed into, excuse me one second, the hardest time of the year to stay consistent and stay accountable. So if you're in this group, you're in the right place because you're already 1 or 5 steps ahead of what you probably normally would be during the holiday season. This is something that none of us can do alone. We are going to be busy with holiday shopping. We're going to be busy with visiting family. Some of us work overtime during the holidays. There's a lot that goes on from December to January. And this is usually the time when people unplug and just say, I'm overwhelmed. I don't want to miss out on the holiday season and be all crazy about my fitness, or just, kind of be unplugged from my family. So I'm just going to retreat from my fitness and retreat from this group, and I'll come back in January. I will tell you that is not what you want to do. And I'll tell you why you don't have to do that. The group is not meant to take over your life. The group is meant to enhance your life and bridge the gap between the start-stop cycle. So right now is one of the biggest stops for most people, and then it starts back up in January or February. You don't have to do that. What we are creating in this group is a lifestyle. So lifestyle is formed with habits, and habits are formed 1 step at a time. They're not formed with quick big wins, although you will have some of those, but it's more of the step-by-step consistency. And I say this all the time, but this is something I learned when I went to personal training school, is that consistency will beat out intensity any day of the week. So showing up for 30 or even 20 minutes a day over time is going to beat out that person who can go in and do 3 hours and then another 3 hours and 4 hours, and then all of a sudden they're pooped out. You want to create a habit, because what happens is when life comes at you, you have that habit in place because you've laid that foundation. And when you lay a foundation, it just becomes something you don't have to think about. It's just who you are and what you do. That is the main goal of this group over time, is to, yes, help you with your immediate things that you need now, weight loss or more energy or, more camaraderie, community, all of those things you're going to have. But the long-term goal is to create a habit for you so that fitness and healthy eating becomes just who you are and what you do. And it doesn't have to become this thing that you're doing that you have to take a break from. There's always going to be ebbs and flows. There's always going to be times when you indulge or you enjoy, you're not as strict or you're not as disciplined, I should say. but that's normal. That's part of life. And when you create a lifestyle, you have room for those things. So a lot of people in this group follow what's called the 80-20. And that's basically eating and eating 80% of the time, healthy, clean, whole foods. And 20% of the time is when you have those other things like, wine, or you have chocolate, or you have things that your body doesn't need, but you're enjoying. That's a normal, healthy lifestyle. And when you're building that foundation, you have space and room for that. You have margin for that. And so when you have those holiday seasons, it doesn't throw you off. It's just part of your life. So that's the goal. So for this month, what I want us to really hone in on are two things. The first thing, if you haven't noticed in the group, we're doing a daily challenge at random times of the day to share something that we like about ourselves. And for most women, I find, and some men, this is a kind of challenging thing to do because we're very quick to criticize ourselves and find the flaws that we have, but we're not always so much focused on, wow, I'm really good at this, or wow, I am pretty, wow, I do have these things that I can also focus on. It's hard for us sometimes to do that. So that's one of our December challenges that from now until the end of the year, I want us every day to give ourselves a compliment. And I'm going to be challenging us on different things to compliment ourselves on. Sometimes it's just going to be whatever you want. And sometimes I'm going to be very specific. Like, I want to hear you say something kind about your physical appearance. I want to hear you say something kind about your personality. I want to hear you say something kind about your work ethic. Whatever it is, I'm going to challenge us on different things. And then sometimes it'll just be you share whatever you feel. And what I've noticed already is it's already a challenge for a lot of us. And I want to share, why this is, how this ties into fitness. Mindset, as you probably know, is everything. It's more important than anything you do, because where your mind goes, your body follows. And if your mind is not in the right place, or you're just down and your life is coming at you and you're not being filled up with positivity, life is going to get the better of you. And then you're going to have to muster up even more energy and effort to get back to ground zero. If you're focused on positive thinking, especially positive self-affirmations, that dip is going to be less and less. And eventually you're going to be able to stay emotionally stable and still show up for your life and the things that you need that are healthy and good for you, relationship wise, work wise, obviously, fitness wise. You're going to be able to stay consistent and stay in that, upward motion instead of stopping and starting. So that all starts up here. And it's easy to come in and work out and be excited because you're like, I'm sick of this weight, or I'm doing this, or I'm motivated, or whatever. But life comes at you and tries to test that motivation. And you need to be ready for that. And in order to do that, you have to be constantly filling up your cup, your spiritual and emotional cup. And so one of the ways to do that is to speak kindly to yourself. We tend to not be very kind to ourselves. I don't know about you, but a lot of negative self-talk has been the background of my life, the white noise of my life. And it's a very difficult thing to rid myself of. But I've worked on it for the last, I want to say, 10 years or more. And I have become a much different person than I probably would be. I still have a long way to go, but because I've been intentional about it. So that part of the group is about being intentional about what you're saying to yourself, and actually having the courage to say that out loud so that you can hear yourself and start to believe it. Because when you say things over and over again, just like a song that you hear on the radio, even the songs that you don't like, have you ever noticed you know the words to them? You're like, I don't even like the song, but I know all the words. It's because it's repeated over and over again. So we want positivity to be repeated over and over again, so that on those days where you feel like, I just want to, retreat and hide under the covers and I don't want to face my life today, you can show up anyways, and you can do the things that you need. You need to work out. You need to eat healthy. You need those things so that all the rest of your life that you do, work, relationships, anything else that you have going on,